Welcome back to New Rockstars. It's me, Tommy B, and season 2 of The Bad Batch is beginning to wrap up. We have 2 fresh episodes to talk about. That's right, it's time for another bad boy breaking down Bad Batch. Episode 12, The Outpost, is not what I would call the most lighthearted Star Wars fare. We're a long way from those little Ewoks dancing on Endor. But it does bring us up to speed with Crosshair and also has ice vultures in it, so I'll take it. Speaking of taking, I am taking advantage of all of these incredible merch options at nerdriot.shop, especially our The Way collection. I am partial to the Foundling shirt, of course. We also have some exciting new stuff coming to nerdriot.shop in the future. I can't exactly confirm what, but let's just say I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world. You know what I'm saying, dogs? It's about to be pank around here. Now, also subscribe to the deep dive. Everything, everywhere, all at once just lit up the Oscars, and Eric has an incredible deep dive into that movie that is worth your time to check out. All right, we begin at the clone base on Coruscant, and the clones are being phased out as part of the previous storyline where Tarkin and Rampart plotted to retire the clones and then blew them up. And then the Emperor managed to get a conscription army passed through the Imperial Senate. The clones are being well-wished by a very cold, clearly rehearsed speech given by an Imperial officer. Now, this kind of reminds me of how soldiers have been treated historically throughout history. They do their job, they sign up, they risk their lives, and then they're kind of ushered away in a pretty non-ceremonial way for the most part. The conscripted army has already begun moving into the base as we see some TK stormtroopers. You can tell by their Gen 1 helmets. See, I'm learning, commenters. Marching along. The Empire is moving very quickly to erase any memory of the clone troopers. We do get a quick shot of the clone memorial wall during the day, but that can't be too good for business, so my guess is that will be destroyed or removed soon. Crosshair heads to Barton 4, a miserable, icy planet, so bleak and hopeless looking that I almost expected to see my Uncle Jimmy in front of an ice cave waving a Buffalo Bills flag. Crosshair is joined by Lieutenant Nolan, one of the most obnoxious commanding officers I've seen in any Star Wars property, and that's saying something because we had General Hux. That guy sucked. This guy is used to hammer home that point that once a soldier is seen as unuseful, they are treated with contempt and looked at as useless. We meet Commander Mayday and his remaining troops who have been basically stranded on this outpost, with Mayday noting they expected them 36 rotations ago. See, they don't value the clones anymore. They'll just leave them freezing there because they see them as obsolete technology. Now, a guy named Mayday stuck on a snowy base fearing that he is abandoned is a little on the nose, but that's what I love about Star Wars. They're not afraid to be a little bit on the nose for you. In this one scene, we see Nolan won't even accept help from a clone trooper as he slips on his way off the ship. This guy sucks. He keeps referring to them as equipment. Hate this guy. I noticed Mayday and his crew have created a memorial using the helmets of their fallen fellow clones. This is kind of a repeated theme with clones creating memorials like the one on Coruscant that we saw earlier to honor their fallen brothers. Mayday and co. are attacked by raiders and they suffer even more casualties. Crosshair tries to take out a few raiders, but he's blinded by an explosion. The reason being he's wearing his infrared helmet and the explosion just absolutely lights up his eyes. Just like his brother Hunter, Crosshair has enhanced sight, so limiting his vision is a major obstacle and maybe a foreshadowing into the future. As a result of maybe having some damaged vision temporarily, Crosshair steps on a mine as he and Mayday pursue the raiders. Mayday is able to improvise a tool to free Crosshair while trying to extol a little wisdom on him.
Glad you're confident in your work. Oh, I'm confident. I'm just not stupid.
Sometimes when you love a show or a movie, it's not enough to have seen it. You need some merch to commemorate the occasion, and Nerd Riot's got you covered, baby. If the finale of The Last of Us left you hungry for more, pick up a Lunch of Us tee, available in cream or black, featuring the logo of Todd's Steakhouse from episode 8 of the series. Don't eat there, though. Just don't do that. Unless you're a cannibal. If you're stoked for the upcoming John Wick movie, Nerd Riot has a whole line of John Wick shirts to make you feel like you've got a seat at the high table. There's the Baba Yaga tee, my personal favorite, a Gunchucks tee, a tee for the high table itself proclaiming, "I have served, I will be of service." Get them all now and you can wear them opening night. And then you can wear them again the next weekend when you see John Wick Chapter 4 for a second time. And of course, if you're obsessing over The Mandalorian right now, there's a whole line of Mando merch in The Way collection with tees, beanies, hats, even stuff for the kids. There's a lot of new fun, exciting merch coming up, and I can't give away too much, but let's just say it's Barbie's world. We're just living in it. To get your hands on the merch you need, head to nerdriot.shop today. Join the riot over at nerdriot.shop. Mayday isn't totally selfless. He does move away before Crosshair steps off, in case he explodes. Mayday and Crosshair attack the raiders, who have tons of trooper tech, including electro staffs. Crosshair shoots a stack of landmines to finish off the raiders, and it also triggers an avalanche. The two work quickly to escape, but they're both in bad shape. Badly injured, the two discover the gear that they were going after is armor for the new conscripted army. Mayday begs Crosshair to go on without him, but Crosshair can't leave him behind because he owes him, for that whole landmine thing. And we see that Crosshair does, he cares about about people who help him. He's just, also a ruthless killer. They make it back, but Mayday is too far gone. Nolan continues to act like a jackass.
About time you two returned.
So, Crosshair kills him. Crosshair is arrested and taken to Mount Tantus, presumably to Dr. Hemlock, so he can scramble his brain even further. Oh God, don't make Crosshair even more dangerous, please. I just wanted to be back with the Batch. The next episode, episode 13, Pabu, starts with the Bad Batch hanging out in a cantina, and it's a who's who of aliens. Ryan Airy's excellent breakdown identifies the bar as Club Lo Shay, who was a villain in an Indiana Jones movie, and that's cool because this opening sequence has major Indiana Jones vibes. Outside the cantina, we see Biffs, Snivians, Twi'leks, and damn, inside we see an Auskelis dressed like the Kenner action figure. We are reunited with Phee, who's played by Wanda Sykes, as she makes a deal with a pirate named Crowder, who then tries to poison her with wine and then uses the same bugs Jango Fett was using to try to kill Padme. Again, poison wine, poison insects, Indiana Jones vibes, like I said. The gang escapes with Phee, and then they communicate with Sid over comms, and we have this great scene where Sid is breaking up. Her voice is modulating low and high. She's had it with the Bad Batch. They've had it with her. Friendly Sid, Rhea Perlman, Carla from Cheers. She's ready to turn on him. I mean, this has been hinted at all season, and it won't be long, I think, before Sid sends the Empire after the Bad Batch. So where do they go? They go where you gotta go when you want to get away from your troubles. Pabu, baby. And let me tell you, one look at this place, and I am getting major Kingdom Hearts vibes. I was planning on starting missions. I was gonna go jump into Winnie the Pooh world. I was gonna go jump into Toy Story world. I was gonna go jump into Nightmare Before Christmas world. Once on Pabu, we see Phee is actually liberating treasure, just like Omega says. She is Indiana Jones. She's taking these treasures and she's putting it in a place they call the Archeum. Is that for Ark of the Covenant, or is that for Noah's Ark? Is there some kind of biblical themes, including a man named Shep, could be short for Shepherd, and his daughter, Leanna. This leads us to a sequence of the Bad Batch hanging out with the people of Pabu that I find truly hilarious. Wrecker is finally full. Now that is the biggest twist in Bad Batch history, that Wrecker has finally eaten enough food that he feels full. Of course, then they reveal that it's time for dessert and he has a little extra room in his stomach, which I can empathize because I've been to plenty of Pizza Huts after baseball games and eaten all of that pizza just in time for a hot pan brownie. You know what I mean? And then Echo makes a joke. He says, I'm gonna note this moment, as if Wrecker being full is truly hilarious to him. Hunter senses that something is about to go wrong on Pabu, and he's right, because the Munoz, these cute little monkey creatures, are running around panicking, like dogs before a storm or an earthquake. That's right. There are tremors, first a little tremor, then a major one that causes a flood. Unfortunately, Omega and her new friend Lila are out at sea, and Omega is experiencing things for the first time. We forget, Omega has not had a childhood. This is like the first person her age that she's ever hung out with, and of course, there's a massive tidal wave. Hunter takes the Marauder out and rescues both Omega and Layla. The Bad Batch are offered the opportunity to stay on Pabu, so they say, okay, we'll do that, which means to me the Empire is probably coming in about 2 days to kill all of them. So I think we're heading towards Crosshair being reprogrammed by the Empire and hunting down the surviving members of the Bad Batch, and then the Bad Batch rescuing him, saving him, and all of them being one big happy family flying into season 3. Do you think I'm right? Let me know in the comments. Please don't forget to like the video and subscribe to New Rockstars. Follow me at Tommy Bechtold. Don't forget to subscribe to the deep dive for all of those sweet, sweet deep dives that only Eric Voss can do. I have spoken.